What's up guys, and welcome back to my channel. I came into the month of October thinking this was going to be the month that I get caught up on all my creative endeavors. I'm going to crank out a bunch of new videos. I had nothing on the calendar at the end of September, and then October got slammed. I just got home from a quick trip to Portland, which I drove to from the Bay Area. That was no easy drive. It was like 12 hours each way. And I got back last night, and then I woke up this morning to the announcement that Leica has released the M11-P. One of the things that happened when I bought my M11 just a couple months ago was that I got several DMs saying, why are you buying an M11 right now when they are about to announce the M11P and it's going to be so much better? And if you looked at the rumor mill on LeicaRumors.com or any of these other rumor websites, you would have seen several predictions about what the M11P was going to be. Waking up this morning and getting the email about the launch of the M11P and then looking at all of the details actually affirmed me that the M11 was the right buy in this season. And this has nothing to do with the M11P. It has to do with the fact that Leica, and I believe this is true of all of these camera brands right now with their flagship models, have hit a place where they're all just so freaking good. And we don't need to jump into all of the tech specs, but like, if you're looking for something with autofocus and like the best of the best camera mirrorless experience, it's going to be hard to beat the Sony a7R5. It's going to be hard to beat the Canon R5. Okay, it's not very hard to beat Nikon with the two I just named. But then with the Leica experience, I mean, it's hard to beat the M11, and I think that we are seeing that now. The M11P has three major things that set it apart from the M11, but what I found most interesting is that none of it affects the photography and the quality of what's coming out of the M11 already. The first thing that we should point out that the M11P has is a brand new way of identifying a photo's authenticity called content credentials. This is definitely forward thinking, and it's really cool to see Leica leading the way in this tech that I believe is going to be on every new camera that comes out from the major brands moving forward. You can read all about this on Leica's website, and there are plenty of other websites that have already broken down what the content credentials look like, but basically this is so that people can affirm the authenticity of the photo they are viewing and also see a track record of what was done to modify that photo. And without saying it explicitly, this is all about deep fakes, generative AI, and other sorts of AI that go into photography, because nowadays publishers may buy images that they believe are news related and end up being not authentic at all because it was created on a computer. And that's just going to become more problematic over the next year, 5 years, 10 years, and however into the future. I think that this content credentials is a huge step in what needs to happen across all camera systems. So it's really cool to see Leica leading the way, and I saw the list of all the major brands that are involved in this too. So you're gonna see this coming to every camera, I believe, into the future. So that's number one. Number two is that they have increased the internal storage from 64 gigabytes to 256 gigabytes. That's a pretty significant increase, especially if you're one to roll around without an SD card, or you're looking to shoot a lot of images with redundancy, backing up to a second place like the M11 can do internally. This was taken right from the M11 monochrome, and so it was no surprise to see the internal storage of the M11 increase from 64 to 256. The third thing, and probably the thing that I am the most sad about owning an M11, is just the design. I love that script on the top. I think it is just beautiful, and I cover my red dots with a black sticker. I get an email about this black sticker at least 5 times a week, DM or an email. I always write back and send the Amazon link. I put it below for your own enjoyment. But I love that the M11P just doesn't have it, like the other P editions as well that have come out in the past. What I was super encouraged about though, as I was stating on the front end of this video, is that there really wasn't anything done to improve the image quality of what we get out of the M11. Because we have arrived at Leica's best offering in this season. The P could not improve upon the resolution. The P could not improve upon the dynamic range and what the sensor offers. The P just can't improve upon that stuff because they have killed it with this M11. So I'm actually feeling really affirmed right now that we are in the right place at the right time shooting the Leica M11. And if you own an M11, I think you can be encouraged by this as well. Now, if you're in the market for a brand new camera and you don't have an M11 and the M11P's features stand out to you, then by all means, it sounds like an incredible camera, and it's going to be, obviously. But if you're looking at getting an M11 or something from the M11 line, which we have now the M11, the M11 monochrome, and the M11P, I think getting a used M11 is the way to go to save a little money. I also don't see the M11 taking a huge hit right now in terms of investment because I very much expect it to continue to hold its value because the P did not blow it out of the water and make it irrelevant. So I think it's real exciting when it's new Leica Day. But what I'm most excited about with today's announcement is the M11 as such a solid camera. There was even a firmware update today to bring a few new features to the M11, which is exciting. Stuff I don't really use, but exciting nonetheless because Leica cares enough to keep updating their cameras. Something Sony really never does. And as someone who's shooting on the Sony a7S III, which is Sony's current S flagship camera, I don't even know when the last time there was a firmware update for this camera. Come on, Sony, help us. Update the freaking firmware. So those are my thoughts on the M11P. It really affirms the M11. I think it's a fantastic and beautiful camera, but I'm still feeling really good about where I am. If you have any thoughts, maybe the same, maybe different, whatever your thoughts are, be sure to leave them down below, and I will always try to respond to every comment that I get. Would love to hear what you think about the M11P, if it's checking all the boxes for you, if you're looking for a first-time M11 line camera, if this is the one for you. Share all your thoughts below. Like, subscribe, all of that YouTube stuff that we need to do for the algorithm. And for those of you that saw my last video linked right here, thank you for those that stepped up and donated and joined along with the initiative to give to save the children, this whole horrible conflict in the Middle East. You can watch that video, but I just want to say thank you to all of you personally. All right, guys, thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.